Hey guys, it's Jeff, and today Apple did in fact release iOS 13 Developer Beta 3. It's a little bit late here in the morning for a developer build, but nonetheless it has been released, and today we are super excited to see this new version of iOS 13 betas. Now, the update did come in at around 700 megabytes for my iPhone XS Max, so I am expecting to see some new features, changes, and all that jazz. So let's go ahead and check for any major new features, maybe some changes throughout the UI, and then of course to see if bugs have been fixed that were found in Beta 2. If you are super pumped to see what's new in iOS 13, make sure to leave a like on the video and also get subscribed to not miss out on any iOS 13 content in the near future. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into iOS 13 Beta 3. This video is sponsored by Cyberghost Vpn, and unlike other VPN services out there, Cyberghost doesn't spy on your internet usage or collect and sell your data. What they also do is provide you the fastest VPN service possible each time you connect, but you also have a really cool option where you can select from streaming servers dedicated to individual streaming services like Hulu, HBO, Amazon, Netflix, YouTube Red. You get the idea. So go check out Cyberghost VPN in the video description below. They can support your iPhone, Mac, PC, and Android devices, all for just $2.75 a month. Okay guys, so we have both iPhones here running iOS 13, but the one on the left here is running iOS 13 Beta 2, and the one on the right is Beta 3. So we're just comparing kind of the differences between Beta 2 and Beta 3. Let's go ahead and check out some information about these two betas. Obviously, the build number has changed from Beta 2. So as you can see here, the build number for iOS 13 Beta 3 is 17A 5522F. So the end number or the end letter has changed with this build number here. And if we go down to the modem firmware for Beta 2, we're at 1.51.07. And then on the right here on Beta 3, we have 1.52.04. So the modem firmware has in fact changed from Beta 2 to Beta 3, which should support better call quality, better data, and everything like that. Now, this update did come in at around like 697 megabytes, almost 700 megabytes for the iPhone XS Max. So we are expected to see some new features here, and we have. So if we go into the iCloud menu here, you can see that the subscriptions tab has actually been moved up. So if we look at the subscriptions tab here on Beta 2, it's down in this section here. And then as you can see, it is actually included in this top menu here in Beta 3. So you can just go in, view your subscriptions that you have through the App Store and check out what subscriptions are active and what are not active. So that's the first change in Beta 3 here. So the next change can be found in the Notes app. You can see on Beta 3 here, we're getting a new splash screens for Beta 3. So it tells you what's new in Beta 3 here. We have, and more specifically, iOS 13. So we have gallery view, where you can go ahead and view your notes as visual thumbnails to quickly find notes with images, sketches, or handwriting. You have new checklist options, and as well, you have shared folders. So those are everything, kind of like the new options found within iOS 13, and they're kind of highlighting those in Beta 3 now. Also, another change that you can see here is in the left on Beta 2 here, you can see that the mic icon is not filled, but on the right here, you can see that it has been filled now within Beta 3. Another very minor change within iOS 13 Beta 3 here, but it does look a little bit better as the filled icon makes it a little bit more apparent on the keyboard here. Now, the next change can be found within the Mail app. When you go ahead and swipe to the left here, the archive icon there is now purple. It used to be blue. Very minor change within the Mail app. Let me know what you guys think of this. I thought the blue is really good, but they have changed it to purple now in Beta 3. Now, a major change found within iOS 13 Beta 3 versus Beta 2 is if you go to Apple Arcade, it is now open. So you can actually go into Apple Arcade and see exactly what's going on with this new feature coming in iOS 13. Unfortunately, there's not really anything going on yet. You can't actually kind of take part of Apple Arcade just yet, but there's a little bit more information than what we saw here in Beta 2, where they just kind of have a small preview here. You can actually go and see exactly what Apple Arcade will be offering here in iOS 13, and I do expect Apple Arcade Arcade to be fully released within the next couple of betas here, so stay tuned for more news on that. Now, if we go into the Find My app, you can go ahead and see that there is a subtle difference here. We have a new tab here called the Me tab on the left here on beta 2. You don't see that. And if you go into the Me tab, it shows exactly where you are on the map, and it can actually show you some different options where you can go ahead and see your location for this device and your Apple Watches, and then as well share my location, allow friend requests and everything like that. So you can do everything that pertains to you on the menu here on the new Me menu within the Find My application. Previously, it was at the top here, but Apple has in fact changed that to the new information icon, and that just gives you more information on kind of your map settings. So do look for a kind of subtle difference here in the Find My application. Now, one major change that you will see within beta 3 if you have a 3D Touch enabled device is 3D Touch is back. So 3D Touch is working a lot better here within iOS 13 beta 3. It was kind of removed in beta 2 and beta 1 of iOS 13, and now it's working a whole lot better, as you can see here in beta 3. So go ahead, check that out. 3D Touch is back, and it does feel really, really good within this third beta of iOS 13. Now, a very subtle change that we're seeing here within beta 3 of iOS 13 is that the text on the phone app is a little bit bigger here, so the numbers are slightly bigger, and if you go to the call icon, that is slightly bigger as well. Just a very subtle change between beta 2 and beta 3 here on the iPhone XS Max. So one other change that we saw here is actually found in the iMessages app, and if you go to the Memoji stickers, not the actual Memoji, but the Memoji stickers, you'll actually find some very subtle differences here. Mainly if you go onto the kind of bottom portion here, you'll see that we have different colored shirts. And if you go to the very bottom, you can see on the left here, our angry face is more straight. And then on the right, it's kind of more tilted. Just some very subtle changes here to the Memoji stickers found within iOS 13 beta 3. Now, I did want to touch up a little bit on performance, just because performance has been great so far in iOS 13. Apple did say that we would be seeing much better performance on iOS 13 versus iOS 12, and so far I haven't really seen that, but I have seen very consistent performance found within the iOS 13 betas. But let's go ahead and check out the kind of Geekbench results that we got from the two versions here, beta 2 and beta 3. If we go on to the CPU for beta 2, you can see that we got a 4,809 and then 11,416. And then on the third beta here of iOS 13, we got a really, really low multi-core score here, 8,623, and things are definitely overheating here with the third beta of iOS 13. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. We've been running it for over an hour now, and just overheating. You can see that the dimness on this side has started, the screen has started to dim simply because it's getting way too hot. So just beware, if you are going to make that upgrade, you might be getting some overheating issues, something that we have seen in the past with some users complaining about overheating on beta 2 of iOS 13. So let's go ahead and check out the Geekbench results from the compute scores. On the left here, you see 21,180, and on the right, 22,475. So a modest increase here just with a software update that should lead to better graphics performance and everything like that. But just beware, the kind of overheating issue is still here, where on the left here, or on the right, we have kind of like a more dim screen simply because we're getting a little bit more heat found within this version of iOS 13. So guys, that was iOS 13 beta 3 and some of the changes and new features that we saw within this beta release. If you have any comments, questions, or anything like that about this beta release, please comment those in the comment section down below. If you found any new features of your own, please let me know in the comment section down below what those are and where you found those. Also, if you have a 3D Touch enabled device, let me know if 3D 3D Touch is back. I am personally experiencing 3D Touch, but I know a lot of people out there are saying that they are not. So let me know what your experience is in the comment section down below. Now, as far as a recommendation on if you should update, developer betas are always like kind of more buggy than public betas. So I always recommend, hey, go to the public beta rather than the developer build. But if you are already on the developer build and you really want to stay on the developer build, I would highly recommend updating to beta 3, and this is why. There were a lot of issues in beta 2, specifically with the Notes app crashing, several apps just randomly crashing kind of at all times. There was no rhyme or reason as to why they were doing that. And then also a major bug with Instagram where you couldn't actually hear sound whatsoever. A restart, respring, nothing would fix that issue, and it was just really, really annoying. And that's now fixed within beta 3. So if you personally were having that issue, it will be fixed within a beta 3, and it would be kind of worthwhile updating to this new beta version. Now, if you want to hold out for the public beta 2, that should be coming either later today, maybe even tomorrow morning at around this same time, or you may be seeing a new kind of beta release schedule for the public on a weekly basis after the developer builds, which would make a little bit more sense just to get all of the bugs squashed within the new developer builds and kind of get a more clean version out to the public beta. So whatever version you are on, I do recommend updating once you have the chance. You can go to beta.apple.com to get a hold of the public betas, or there's a link down below if you want to hop onto the developer beta builds where you can get a developer beta profile. Link to that is in the video description below, as said before. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching this update video on iOS 13 beta 3. Of course, if you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, as I said before, comment those in the comment section down below. But anyways, thank you again for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this update video. If you want to enjoy more and get more up-to-date news on everything Apple related, please get subscribed and also hit the bell button to get updates as soon as any of that content is released. So again, thank you all for watching, and hopefully I'll be seeing you in some upcoming content. Peace.